Welcome to Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I am Gypsy Girl, here to bring you another reading for Leo. Ooh, going right to the Lover's deck there. Leo. I thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe, for protecting me and keeping me safe. Leo, I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Most of all, for showing up. And here we see the Harvest. Again, I keep seeing this card like it's the World card, but it is the Judgment call, where you get to have that second chance, that making a judgment call, in fact, on what you want to do, and having a second chance to get to do what you want to do. A Knight of Cups, to pursue or to have an offer come in, a second chance to make an offer, Leo, to the person most on your mind. Here we see the Page of Swords, so seeking that information, wanting more, practicing, putting into practice what you know, and communing with higher powers, seeking that knowledge. You want to understand better someone, maybe the person most on your mind, or maybe they do. Thank you, Leo, for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares, but most of all for showing up. Thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe. Deck splits again on the Horned God, so that's the Emperor, and the Battle Wagon, which is the Chariot. So two high arcana. We have that groundedness, that sense of being in control, that being responsible, taking responsibility for the direction that you want to go in, making change and taking on that hard work of change. And then we have the World card coming into just desserts, coming into concluding of a cycle, completion, ending up of a cycle. And we have, again, ending up of a cycle and having a new beginning. So that going hand in hand with the two high arcana here. Again, she brings in that 3-month cycle of a new beginning is coming. So Leo, you have something to look forward to. You are shedding that skin, that old ideas, completing a cycle, coming into just desserts, however you resonate with this World card, where something is ending, something is beginning. With our Earth Mother, and being patient, having that patience with yourself and the person most on your mind. Having that new beginning with the person most on your mind. All right, this is the Green Witch Tarot by Ann Moura. And we're doing the 9-card spread, just cut, for the person most on your mind. And for that I brought in the Lover's Oracle by no author. The author is unknown. It's not printed. There's no booklet. So this is the Lover's Oracle for their thoughts. And then we have the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid, where I have flipped half of the deck so that some cards are in the reverse, and therefore I pull two, one for you, one for the person most on your mind. We start off with the situation between you. It's the first card. The second card is how you're dealing with it, and the third card is how they are. Let's see how this fetches here. Set it up like this. Fourth card is Spirit's advice. The fifth is how you take Spirit's advice. The sixth is how they do. Now again, there's nothing that I say is written in stone. The seventh card is the outcome to this situation. Only if you say you will follow it will it be. But if you change your mind, or you say, no, I don't want, well, it will change because you have free will. Let's see the top of the read here. Situation between you is the Nine of Cups, Leo. So is this overindulgence? Is there a sense of satisfaction, desire for more, wanting to celebrate? Seems like it's a crystal ball here, looking into the future, looking for that sense of satisfaction between you. You are changing, you are growing, you are becoming more, you have seen something or many things, your experiences, lessons that you've gone through has changed you. Your belief system has changed, your faith has increased. You want to be different than what you remember yourself to be, or you want the next person, the person most on your mind, to see you in a different light. They are the Queen of Wands, so very independent, very much on their own, very innovative, but very independent. I'm not doing reversals. I can't see if they're angry. Spirit is saying King of Swords here, so justice, being that there is determination to stick to what you believe, your faith. Have faith in what you believe, because you're going with Spirit here. They are going on their own, that independence. I keep seeing independence, wanting to take charge. How you deal with the situation, or with what Spirit's advice is. Again, going on your own, going within, keeping things to yourself, not sharing what you have learned, or not telling what you know. Being quiet, being patient, going in, going within, being more on the spiritual side, because we have two high arcana here. But being honest and keeping within the law, following the laws of nature in most cases. Three of Swords, they're very disappointed. They want to be on their own. They've been disappointed. Four of Swords, maybe they want to speak. They want to talk. They want to go to therapy. Maybe. In some cases. But they want to talk. They want to talk about something. About how they feel. Maybe it is being that they are changing in their own way. They want to talk about how things have changed, and how things have changed with you, because you're the one going through all the changes. Here we see the High Priest. So again, that having learned lessons, having that higher education, having that higher knowledge, evolving into more is where you come in here. Where they are is overcoming that loss, feeling that sense of aloneness, wanting to be on their own, understanding what they've been through, seeing the justice behind what they've been through, because they've been disappointed. And then you turn into the stubborn one here. You want to release. This card could be in a reverse state because you've changed and now you're feeling like you're going to let go. Again, the second chance, the judgment call. being able to let go of what no longer serves you, being able to change your mindset, having seen and knowing deep within the truth, being honest about how you feel, Leo, being able to release yourself from a particular mindset. Well, you are stubborn, Leo. You're just naturally stubborn. You're holding on to your pride, your ego. You're breaking that down. You're being honest. Or at least Spirit is advising that you should be honest. And here you have that know-how. You come out knowing more. You come out exercising what you know. You come out having that control over yourself, knowing when to say, when not to say, changing the way you see and view the next person, the person most on your mind. They have overcome. They have become more independent. They don't rely on other people. They've learned to become more independent because they're learning. Queen of Swords, King of Swords. So it's a question of being honest, a little more discerning, being responsible, taking responsibility on both sides. The Chariot, changing the direction of where things are going. It feels like there's two cards here. Then we have the Ace of Cups, having that sense of self-love, really recognizing that they are more discerning and taking care of themselves is what I see here. Because of them having that disappointment with a relationship, whether it is with you or with someone else, they've become more independent. The Queen of Swords. They've become more discerning. They're choosing for themselves. Nine of Swords. The worry is over. The Four of Wands. Again, an anxiety over coming into a relationship. The Queen of Wands is independent. She doesn't want to go through divorce because it seems that she's been divorced. This is our lady here, Queen of Swords, and she doesn't want to go through that again. She doesn't want to get into a relationship where she knows that she's going to end up getting divorced. The Four of Swords is that communication, and King of Wands, having that connection between you, being able to talk about what disappointed her, if it is with you or with another, having that sense of justice being served and coming out with a divorce. Right here. Seems that some of us are dealing with someone who may have been divorced already or is getting a divorce. And they're anxious. They're anxious about getting into another relationship of marriage because they've been down that road. They need to see and take responsibility here. See that self-love. See that the new beginning and making that offer. Maybe that's what you want to do. But you're holding back. You're holding yourself. You're not wanting to. You're not wanting to, or you're releasing yourself. Again, it is destiny to follow what you want, and the Wheel of Fortune coming into November. Coming into November, we will see a new journey. The truth has to be told. Putting down the burden. Yeah, there's going to be blockage. They're not ready. They really want to be single. They're not rushing to get married. Neither are you. Your mindset is changing on that. But let's take a look at the energy. But in November, things may open up. Channels may open up where you may speak and share your thoughts, your true thoughts. because she's more discerning because of her situation. And I say she, it doesn't mean it's a woman here. It is feminine because we have that energy of being independent and wanting to stand on their own and having that sense of, I'm going to take care of myself. It's that nurturing, that self-nurturing, and that sense of being true to the self and being independent and not allowing anyone to step on them, to have the control, that self-control, because of what they've been through. They're still overcoming it, or they've overcome whatever it is that they had gone through, whether it was divorce or separation. Let's see the energy for the person most on your mind, where they are. Oh, it's in reverse. Okay. And what is this one? The higher power. So they are really struggling with that higher power coming into understanding and being honest with themselves about their portion in a relationship. Maybe they're thinking that they can't trust relationships. Let's see, number 4. Incredible. Number 4. It's that higher power, conscious contact with the higher power, presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. Yeah, they're struggling with that because they don't believe. Because it is in the reverse, just give me 1 second. Right back. Sorry about that. In the reverse, it says here, now is the time to examine what you are giving energy and attention to in the back of your mind. See? It's that disappointment that they're thinking about. If you're obsessing about being right, about old resentments or failed expectations about money or about any other people, places, or things, these will be the source from which you create. But you want spirit to be your source. Take heart, for your higher power will never desert you, and is always waiting for you to remember the sacred partnership you share. Turn away from other sources of power that don't serve your highest good. There is no greater source than spirit. You can always surrender your troubles and trust that they will be taken care of. You are in good hands. They need to believe that, but give them time. Again, November seems to be a turnaround for them. All right, let's take one for you, Leo. And yours is upright, to be fair. All right. That's where you have the higher corner on your side. All right, let's take a read on that one. It's 38. Let's see, relationship. Can you find a way to achieve fairness right now? This is a time for listening as well as speaking, for understanding as well as asking to be understood. There is much to be learned, and you will learn if you remain open and objective, weighing options and considering all sides. Your heart wants to connect to others, so allow for the balanced exchange of ideas and actions. The best kind of relationship is one in which there is a mutual benefit, and each party feels heard, valued, and respected. Be fair to all, and that is where you will release and see the wisdom in changing your attitude. All right, let's take a look at the thoughts of the person most on your mind. because they seem to be struggling. They seem to be struggling a little bit. They want their independence. They want honesty. They've been disappointed. They seem to be holding back. And satisfaction is to be had, or there must be overindulgence somewhere. Maybe they're overindulging in their mind, their thought processing. Too much thinking. Let's see what they're thinking. Loss and grief and depression. That's the 5 of Cups. So they're a little deep in the darkness there. Divine masculine. Yeah, they're holding on to that independence because they feel like it's their shield, it's their protection. Let's see one more. Open heart, receptive, empathy, vulnerable. This is probably where they were. They want to come back to that. See, they're struggling with that higher power, that faith in being open. You can help them with that, Leo. Probably are trying. You're going through certain changes too to be able to help them open up. If they see you change, they may come around. Let's take one more. Influences, attachments, third parties. Yeah, they've been burned. They're thinking they don't want any more of that. But then there is beauty. Charming, graceful, kind-hearted. So somewhere inside of them, they are that loving, nurturing type. But they're going through some dark periods. We have the dark periods. But it balances with the light. So they're coming around. If you reach and help out and let them know that you're there and you change. If you change your perspective, it'll help them to do the same. On that note, I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Leo, till our next read, love and light.